My fault, and that was a enter. Good defense. Defense, boys.
Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play action pass and completing it.
Nothing with fuck them niggas up. In there. Yeah.
Oh, make it a second down. Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one? The tight end. In this situation, how about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
We'll go discuss this thing in private, man.
And breaks up third down. We know it's not an easy job to go and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Hey, handle your business, man. Step in his office.
Yeah, you know, we got to do that.
Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. Complete to Gilmore. The tight end.
I get it.
To get it down. He's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation. So now it's first and goal. On the ground, fourth down.
I don't like that shit right there. Might have to drop a dime on. They might have to drop a dime on that shit right there.
And the offense ready for play number 10 of the series.
I don't like that shit.
So we'll get a second and goal when we come back. 7-0 is our score. We're back to Baltimore after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaunt and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. And the seemingly endless drive continues. On the ground, Ivory. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air? I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think the second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory. From back into 3 now. This is third and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. They lost 2, and it brings up 4. So on fourth down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Okay, offense, you've gotten down close, but it's still just the second quarter. I say take the 3 points. Plenty of game left to play. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. And unlucky number 13 play drive. Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board. Happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
East, you ain't had no wide receiver?
Hey, what?
No wide receivers out there? Like a 75, 78, 80.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense. Last time out, let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive. And we'll see if they can do just that.
I guess preseason is important, man. Gotta build these niggas up.
Massive nose tackle or a nose guard who can sit in the middle and eat up double teams.
those other guys to get to the ball much quicker.
They look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
They come up with an offset eye. They'll run. This is Brown. And he'll be brought down just shy of 45. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. And some extras coming up on the line here, ready for the blitz. They keep it on the ground. Again, it's Brown. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 5 yards to go. On play action, they'll throw. Look at this tight end on the corner. It's complete. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give them a 1st down.
There's so many things to
How you
watch
catch
for
the
when you
pass
play
to keep your
defense.
feet in bounds?
Reading your keys, you always hear about that.
I don't know how to do that.
Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there?
Most of the time they're good by themselves.
Dump it over the top to him. Now it's Brown. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, that's the type of play that'll fire up the defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
2nd down, 9 yards to go. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. McKinnon here is complete. And he gets it down to the 32. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be a 2nd down.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They'll run it here with Brown. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. It's caught. Nelson. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a 1st down. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Larry Ridley is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this 1st half. Back to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good
That throw has
defense,
to be a
man.
quarterback's dream, doesn't it? Big tight end, curling in the middle of the field, so it's great sight lines for him. And when they show their numbers back to the quarterback, when they sit down right there, that should be pitch and catch.
Now back to throw. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Avoid Green is picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that was a young pup, the rookie, being intercepted by a veteran DB.
And I loved our quick conversation in pregame with him on the field, where he said, hey, look, I love playing these young quarterbacks. They don't know a whole lot yet, so I can use my mind to put me in a position to make a play.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. It's a first down. Hard to believe this guy was watching us from his living room last week. Now he's under center here for an NFL team.
And not many teams were in the market to sign him, but you have to believe that this team felt like we saw something previously in this guy, and now he has a chance to prove it with us.
They set up the screen to Ivory. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They'll look to throw now on first down. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. He'll try again with an arm here on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. No gain on that one, and it's going to bring up a third down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Throw, but incomplete.
Had a chance to catch that breath and then back out and running. Here's Martin dig now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on it right away. And too much mustard on that one. It's a couple yards in the end zone. There's an opportunity there maybe to pin that. The Packers offense now, they get ready to hit back.
The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. They just do get the playoff as they look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. 11 yards on the pickup. And on 4th and long, somehow they're able to keep the drive going.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
The analytics say, put the football there.
So we're changing the analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them. And really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and forced an incompletion.
And 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Marcus Golden coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. To Allen on the dump ball. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. Call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports.
We'll have to see if
As he throws there, incomplete. Crabtree, the intended receiver. We're going to second.
Continuing on the drive, Johnson's going to stay inside after the handoff, and he'll go in from 2 yards out. The Cardinals land the first punch.
All right, Larry, thank you. A fairly tight game here as we get set to resume play in this second half. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
They come out here in the eye. They'll drop the throw. And this one's incomplete. Well, pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Open man, it's Allen. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
It went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. To throw now on 1st down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. And you really can't pin that one on the quarterback, Charles. The O-line, they've got to protect them.
And they know it. That's their meal ticket. They want to take care of the big guy behind them. In this case, they let him down.
We got three, fellas. Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they are known as the no-fly zone.
The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Okay, when the big guy runs a corner route, you're asking a lot no matter who's covering him. Doesn't matter whether it's a linebacker or a defensive back. Yeah. He usually has the advantage because of his body type.
To throw here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
6 yards to go here on second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. To throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Ten yards still left on second down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got time in the pocket. His throw caught right around the 6. That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Their big tight end from 4 yards out. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Cardinals defense. They head out and get set here. And the interception the last time they were out there ended up leading to a touchdown.
So the only thing they didn't get really was the pick 6 because that's what everyone wants. Take it immediately to the end zone. But their offense capitalized on the takeaway and turned it into the 6 points they were looking for.
Yeah, set them up pretty, got the touchdown. Now they're back out there defensively. They'll try to get the running game going here with Ivory. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line's just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you've got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe you keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
It's a pickup of 16 there that'll lead to a new set of downs. And quickly they get to the line. first down. He'll drop to throw. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a second down.
Watch it now, Barney. Hurry up, here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. And they're going to hurry back to the line now.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. They set up the screen to Ivory. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56. 39. Detroit. Gun.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 11 on the gain there. And the Ravens are going to have a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-9.
Now a carry here for Terrence West. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up the play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive.
Hurry up, here we go. Over.
They'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's brought down. 12 yards on the pickup, and that'll be good for an Arizona first down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Back now in Baltimore. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. Incomplete pass on 2nd down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on 3rd. On play action, they'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Bronson Kofusi in there to drop him for a loss of 10, and it'll be 4th and long. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Drew Butler now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Oh, it's a wobbler here. And this kick will be touchdown as they spot it inside the 45-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And the interception thrown in the red zone last time. We'll see if they can rebound.
I just have to think the last thing he said as they went back out there was, don't do that again. What do you think?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that. I think that not only did he say that, but he also told him, let's put it in the end zone that it's supposed to be in, all right? The end zone we're trying to score. I know we're being a little bit facetious here, but the bottom line is take care of the football, and everything else should flow from there.
Quick lesson, never ask the play-by-play guy a question.
Hey, you're my partner. I know you're right there with me.
A dump off for Ivory. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Ravens a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
To throw now on first down. It's caught. It's Dennis Pitta. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end. Take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. First down, he'll drop to throw. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games. And now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Cardinals. Marquise Goodwin, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
Partner, you know what the real key is to stopping a good passing attack?
You tell me.
Being able to tackle as soon as a guy catches the football.
Didn't work out there.
No, because when you give up the big run after catch, the rack yardage, that puts your defense in a big-time stressful position.
A lot of rack yardage and a touchdown there on the big play. And he puts it through. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This is taken near the 13. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see, do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline? We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw again. He hits West underneath. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Here we go now. 3-19. Over.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Escaping the pressure right. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Chris Ivory that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, to say that this has not been his game is probably a big understatement. I mean, he is all over the place. Mechanics are off, not accurate, except if you're playing on defense, because they picked off a good number of passes.
Yeah, all the INTs, but they're throwing it off his back foot. Pressure coming, just chucking it downfield. He can't do that right now.
No, you can't do that at all. And I think one of the hardest things for a guy having a day like this one is to find a way to just kind of get out of it, kind of get yourself back to neutral. Because what you try and do is make even more spectacular plays to make up for it, and it usually leads to more bad ones.
And it's brought in by Pitta. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it here. This is Buck Allen fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play.
Let's go. Green, 39. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He's got it to West on the dump off. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
3-19.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, he'll drop to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now.
Here we go now. Over.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. No. Check. Patriot.
Back to throw again. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Cardinal defense is going to get the football back. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Three yards to go on 2nd down.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well.